Welcome back, Internet, to our playthrough of The Long Dark. When last we left off, we were in the middle of a logging camp, I believe. We're still in search of that ever-elusive uh, bunker that I know not much about. So let's go and explore. I haven't taken any time to actually look through the uh, log cabins or logging camp here yet. I'm probably only going to look around for a little bit, especially considering I'm pretty sure I'm capped on weight. Yeah, like I can't even pick up this can, so I'm not going to really bother with looking around too much. In fact, thinking about it, I think I might just go past everything. We really got to find this bunker and start settling down. You may notice in this video that the usual sounds, the wind, the howling of wolves, the occasional random game audio track, is not to be found, and you can instead hear birds chirping and a little bit of wind and stuff like that. I had to add that in after the fact because for some reason my game audio decided to just not record, which really confused me and left me really somewhat stumped as to what the heck was going on, but it seems to have fixed the problem now, so hopefully it won't happen again. It does mean that this commentary, of course, is post-mortem, or as they say. I'm re-recording it for the second time, so my surprise on certain things, I'll try and be re-surprised, but it's never as genuine when it's after the fact. From talking to my friends about this game, and I would have been mentioning this in the actual video itself, I have learned that there are set locations that the bunkers can spawn in. I don't know where these locations are. I feel kind of like it would be cheating, as per my conversation about maps way back when. So I'm not sure where they are, but I do know they are in static locations. This is somewhat useful because it means that we check places, and if it's not there, then it's not in that sort of area. It's not like it can just kind of randomly spawn anywhere in the map. I really appreciate that from the game point of view. The fact that it's not completely random, where you'd be searching through every single nook and cranny of this this pretty dense forest. But from a replayability point of view, I kind of feel like you might be able to figure out where they spawn, and of course that would lead to the drawing of the maps, and that would kind of you'd wind up ultimately with an optimized route. And as soon as you start optimizing video games, nobody's really enjoying themselves anymore. I mean, unless you're a speedrunner. I'm looking at this sign here, and I have no idea what it means. It looks like a tree pointing up. I assume it must be more back towards more train tracks or something, but I'm going to check that out in a little bit, because right now I see that there are several slopes over on this far side here, on the other side of the clear cut, as the game called it. It's not really clear cut, but I'm not going to argue. Over on these slopes is a good place, as far as I'm concerned, for a bunker to spawn. Sort of out of the way, hidden in trees, If I was the game dev, that's where I'd put it. So I'm heading over there. I also did learn that the game has boundaries. I estimated as much, and way the heck back I had said something to that effect. But ultimately, it sort of became a more solid fact that I was aware of. The weak ice keeps you in line in certain places, and basically, sheer cliff keeps you in line in other places. The ability that we're able to walk up such a steep snowbank is impressive to me, actually. I kind of figured, like, there'd been snowbanks that were a lot more, at least seemed to me, more shallow, that we weren't able to get up, but one of the things I was sort of lamenting about is it's really hard to look over the edge of a cliff without, like, kind of fearing that you're going to fall and then that's it. I was hesitant just back there a second ago looking over that cliff. It almost needs, like, in Minecraft, if you held shift and looked over the edge, you wouldn't fall unless you got hit. I feel like that would be a useful feature. Not that per se, but maybe like an arch your body button. An arma, I guess Q and E, I think, leaned your body side to side. So maybe pressing Q would lean you forward, just so you could look over the cliff without having to fall to your death or fearing about that. And again, such a steep climb. The sun is, as you can see over in by the pink lighting above in the sky, that the sun is starting to set. I didn't really sleep or anything in between videos. I was in a rush last time, so I had to sort of just stop the video and then start this one up. But it's starting to get dark, which means I'm really hoping that if worse comes to worse, I can't find anything, I can always follow my way back to that clear cut just by going down the hill. And this is a situation I'm talking about where you need to be able to look over the cliff face a little bit to figure out, am I going to fall? Is there something underneath here? Especially when falling like 2 feet, you sprain your ankle. But going back, I was worried about it being dark. And of course, so the worst possible thing happens, a blizzard hits. And immediately you can see right there, it's already starting to rapidly drop in temperature, 3, 4, 5, 6, right away. And I'm a little bit hungry and I'm a little bit thirsty, just a little bit over half. So quickly I'm just gonna quickly pop the beef jerky in my mouth and run. The last time we got caught in a blizzard, it was, we got really fortunate in that we found that house right on the lake. I think it was Jackrabbit Island we found it on. And that was a godsend because we were freezing and we were hungry and we were cold. But then it didn't have a fireplace, so we were ultimately not so great anyway. And there's a slope that we can't climb up. It's like I don't see any real difference, and suddenly it's warmer. So I got really confused there. It's warmer in this one spot and then colder everywhere else. I wonder if that's kind of a glitch. I was trying to figure out where it was, but this looks to be like a little bit of a creek, maybe frozen ice. Visually, it looks a lot like the little stream that we were following up way back at the train tracks. And just a second ago, that's a third example of I'm not near confident enough in my ability to not fall off the edge to look over and figure out what's on the other side. So I'd really like that lean feature. And it looks like there's nothing over here, so let's just head down the mountain. We go down so much faster than we go up, which is really nice. It kind of feels at points like almost like the game includes the fact that if you run down a mountain really fast or a steep hill in real life, you're going to lose your balance and fall and wind up sliding on your face. It feels a lot like that, and I really credit the game for making it seem like that with the sporadic speed. I was just checking there. We are really getting... we're not cold, but it is really cold out. We are freezing as fast as the game will allow. The 3 right arrows, as it were. So we need to get out of this blizzard. But I am completely lost. Without knowing which way we came so much, and the low visibility, it's just an absolute crapshoot trying to figure out which way you're going. Fortunately for me, I know that if we go down the mountain, eventually, at very worst, we wind up back at the lake, Mystery Lake, that we had the option to go to and looked at from the top of the trails a long while back. So, as a worst case scenario sort of thing, we can always head back to the lake, because it's at the very bottom of the hills. But I'd really like to find, if I can, and you can see we're getting a little bit cold. We're about a quarter of the way to our freezing temperature. I'd really like to just finish scavenging out these hills, because it takes so many calories to climb up them, and it's such a slow and arduous process. So I'm here. I'm not frozen yet, so I figure, I'll take a look. I don't see anything, but, you know. Better to do it now than have to come back 6 times more because of other random events. Wow, that wind is really blowing. I don't think the birds are necessarily going to be chirping as much as they are right now in this kind of a windstorm, but you never know. It's Canada. Maybe it's all the Canada Geese jackets that everybody seems to be wearing that are making these sounds. Although, geese, I guess, don't really make a chirping sound, more of a honking sound. It's quite entertaining to watch geese attack people. And they bring that up because I've seen geese attack people on the university campus that I was at. This very tiny little Asian girl was walking back from class towards the parking lot, and we had some really mean geese that would hang out. And she got too close to one of these geese, and I mean, I'm not a big guy, but if a geese came at me, my first instinct would be to like punch or kick at it or something like that, grab its neck, and so that it can't bite me. Now, this little tiny Asian girl did not have the same instincts. She had that goose come barreling towards her, and she screamed like it wasn't. She screamed like she was being chased by a guy with a bloody knife, and started booking it the other way. Of course, there's only 3 or 4 people watching this. And I'm maybe 10 feet from this goose that's chasing after her with its wings waving wildly, and it going, and I'm cracking up, and I feel so bad because I'm trying to help this poor girl, but I'm laughing too hard, and there's no way to help her. So she goes running away, and the goose only gives chase for about 4 or 5 seconds. Then he gives up and kind of goes, like, yeah, that's right, you better run. We had some mean geese in our campus. So, having failed our search upon the top of the hills, I'm going to now start heading down. This is really going right back. I feel like I talk in circles sometimes, but a lot of the same complaints I have about this game. This would be the perfect place to be able to build a sled and toboggan down. Like, it is such great conditions as far as the hill is concerned, and you should be able to like burn like practically no calories doing it. You should be able to steer a little bit. You know, don't hit a tree, because hitting a tree will hurt you. But as far as going down the hill, like if you can steer it just fine, we'd be good. I notice we're back at the clear cut, which is amazing because we are now halfway to frozen, and this storm does not look like it's going to let up. So I'm starting to panic a little bit. I'm thinking we need to go. We're going to wind up like this guy here. Somebody else is going to search us and find a whole bunch of good stuff, not just a chocolate bar. But I'm looking desperately for that sign. I am really banking on that tree arrow thing to be somewhere, have something, even a little shack like the fishing shacks would be good enough, because we can at least start a fire in there and get ourselves to neutral temperature till we ride the storm out. So it's time. I see the sign. Let's head up this mountain. It's a steep hill, of course. Can't be easy. Nothing in life is. So we're gonna have to climb this really freaking slowly, and it's irritating. I'm deciding here to use the shift button. I'm gonna burn the double calories, or 2.5 calories, or whatever it is, just to move this thing along faster. Because I'm a little bit worried that we might, if the top of this little mountain thing here, where the arrow is pointing, isn't actually anything, we're pretty much in trouble. This kind of wind, I can't start a fire or anything, so we might be at the end of the run here. I was noting to myself that I think it should be interesting that the game takes a lot of things into consideration when determining heat, like what it feels like outside. I would think sprinting up the side of a mountain, as if you were doing something out of Rocky IV, training for boxing. I'm gonna get to the top and yell, Drago! Drago! But, anyway. Oh, sorry. Stuck, panicking, stuck, unstuck, okay. Nope, still stuck, there we go. There we go. I was thinking, you know what? Oh my gosh. Okay, looks like a little house. Let's go. We are freezing. And, of course, without a real way to jump, we are having to go around the long way. Hooray us. But sprinting up the side of a mountain, and then sprinting up these stairs, obviously they've taken that into consideration with the calories. You burn calories at a ridiculous rate. It doesn't seem to take much into consideration as far as what your body temperature would feel like. Like, I mean, you'd feel pretty dang warm running around like this. Alright, and we are now in. It's warmer in here. Feels like 9 degrees, which is nice. We are hungry, we are thirsty, we are freezing. And we can't start a campfire, but I did notice, hey, look, we can start a fire in here. And I don't have any wood. Fantastic, isn't it? Just amazing. So I'm going to grab some reclaimed wood. And let's start a fire here. Oh, come on. Really? Alright, let's burn an accelerant. No pun intended. And get this fire going. Now, the thing that dawns on me here is I have plenty of tinder. I have plenty of matches. I have no wood. So, in order to keep this fire going, I now have to harvest wood from somewhere. And I'm going, can I harvest wood from outside? And all you have to do is walk right out the door and you can grab it. But hardwood and softwood without a tool, 30 minutes. So I'm in a bit of trouble here. I only have, I think, 25 minutes left on the fire, so we're cutting it close. And I really It's not that big a deal, but I really want to keep the fire going. Fortunately for me, reclaimed wood adds half an hour to eat the fire, and it only takes 20 minutes to grab. Hardwood, on the other hand, takes about half an hour to grab, but adds about an hour and a half to 2 hours, which is just amazing. Unfortunately, for me, it's kind of a game of we have to go one log at a time. We add a log, now we have 2 hours. So I'm going to head back out into the cold, reclaim a bit more. And you see, this storm was not letting up. We would have frozen for sure. So we'll grab another unit of wood. Something I didn't realize. If you look when I hit tab here, if I hit tab here, we get really cold. It actually takes into consideration, yeah, see, I'm about halfway again. It takes into consideration the temperature outside while you're foraging outside, and that's something that I didn't actually realize it did. But for now, I'm going to get some food in me. Thinking, well, water first. Water is always way more important. But I'm thinking a little bit of raw or rabbit and tomato soup would be pretty good. Not the 20% tomato soup though. Let's go with a higher tomato soup. Yes, the creme de la creme to go with our beautifully cooked rabbit, our succulent rabbit. Today's menu is a succulent rabbit cooked on a gross fireplace, and tomato soup that is kind of warm. That cooked, we have ourselves a meal. Of course, that's not going to be enough. I realized that after the fact. Tomato soup does not really help with calories. Neither does rabbit meat. Rabbit meat is only about, I think it's 300 calories, it says here. Let's see. 450, my apologies. That's not a whole lot. The other thing I was noting right here is scrolling takes a long time. There's no like scroll bar on the side that you can just grab and whip down. I know just because when I was looking for water, you gotta scroll so slowly. But it is 9:30 at night. We are pretty much set for hunger, set for thirst. I was noting that the cold there was a plus sign. A green plus sign. I hadn't seen that before. It's there still. But I'm going to go out and grab some wood. And you'll see on the right hand side there, I was cold for a little bit there. My condition probably went down a little bit. I didn't realize that was a thing. Yeah, see, now it's oh, no, pardon me. Yeah, I just noticed that. I was like, ooh, wow, that cold went pretty cold. But I'm thinking, the fire's got some length on it, but I don't know if it's long enough. So we'll top up calories, top up thirst one more time. And then I noticed the hatchet, because I'm a freaking idiot. I think the hatchet cuts the length of time in half. I also noticed the ammo and the hunting knife. And I am an idiot. So I wasted a whole bunch of time here screwing around when I could have been making actual progress. I'm going to harvest those later, but they're not worth anything now. And I'm not actually taking any of this, it's just good to know what's in the area. And a rifle we can use. So with our, oh no, pardon me, I'm going to go out and grab wood one more time, I think. Oh no, pardon me, I know what I'm doing. I'm trying to repair my coat with a 93% chance of success, and I fail. Or an 83, my apologies, 83% chance of success, and I fail. And right here, I'm just raging, going, what the hell? 83% chance, and I failed twice? And there we go. Now my jacket's a little bit warmer. I am a little bit warmer. It is dark outside. It has actually stopped blizzarding. So I decide, you know what? I'm going to go out and grab some more wood. Nope, not quite out the door far enough, though. And pushing wrong buttons because I'm incompetent. But look at that. It'll only take 45 minutes to grab all this wood. And with that, we can close that door. Get our fire really roaring. Boom, boom, boom. Actually, a little bit more. A little bit more wouldn't hurt. Especially since we have our hatchet. So, you know what? Why not? We have our hatchet. And so now, boom, boom, boom. We got an 8.5 hour fire going. I think it's time to call it a night. We are a little bit hungry, a little bit thirsty, but you know what? That can be fixed just before we go to bed. You know, eat a chocolate bar and drink some soda or something like that. It's, you know, we don't need to brush our teeth. Brushing our teeth is for not gross people. We are gross people because we are trying to survive. I assume we've got some sort of awesome rugged beard. Makes us look like a real champion. So drink the water. Gulp, 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 gulp. And I'm looking and I'm like, okay, 8 hours left on the bed. I think it's time to call it a night. We shall sleep for a couple of hours here, just so that when it's daytime again, we can go out exploring for a little bit more. As for that, I think I'll call this a part right here. And I will talk to you guys later.